Yes, guys, welcome back to another video. Welcome to the George Benson football channel for 6 things that we learned from Chelsea 1, Crystal Palace 1. It is a frustrating afternoon at Stamford Bridge. I'm not going to lie to you. There was so much promise in this game. I saw a lot of positives. We were live on the channel. A lot of you guys also were agreeing that Chelsea were very much in control of the game. We were getting lots of good chances, big chances. Dean Henderson... It was like, do you remember those times when David De Gea would come to Stamford Bridge? Last week, he would have had like an absolute mare, conceded 2 goals through his legs, and then he'd make like 10 world-class saves. Dean Henderson put in that level of performance today at Stamford Bridge. Crystal Palace parked basically 11 men in their own box for the majority of the second half, scored a great goal, and Chelsea are frustrated, and once more... there is a lot of question marks about whether or not we can play and successfully beat teams that are playing in a low block. I'm going to kind of explain. I just realised how absolutely whack and wild my hair is right now. But I'm going to try and explain why I don't think this actual result and overall performance is as bad as it feels right now. That's what I'm going to try and do within this video. But if you're here, it's been a mad week. It's been a mad summer. Please do smack a like on this video and subscribe to the George Benson football channel if you are new around here and haven't already done so. So the way this game went, Chelsea started it really well. We're in control of the possession. We had about 75% possession, I think, throughout the majority of the first half an hour of this game. Cole Palmer has a brilliant opportunity, just hits it past the post. It was literally a fingernail away. Noni Madueke, about 5 minutes later, exactly the same place, just past that left-hand post. And Chelsea are looking good. Then we see the first of the absolutely wonderful, majestic saves from Crystal Palace goalkeeper Dean Henderson. Noni Madueke is put in with a lovely clip ball over the top from Enzo Fernandez, the best thing he did all game. And then Noni gets a volley underway, and it is a fantastic save from Dean Henderson. Then the breakaway, Chelsea's goal, it is fantastic. This is what we'll expect from Chelsea this season. And to be fair, it's kind of annoying now that I talk about such a great goal. At the time that we scored it, about midway through the first half, Noni Madueke shrugs off a tackle, bursts past his man, gives the ball to Cole Palmer, and the pass from Palmer is just perfect. It's inch perfect. Noni with the hard work, Palmer with the ball in, and Nicolas Jackson, after extending his Chelsea contract today, Jackson will be at Chelsea now for 9 years. We're going to talk about him as this video goes on. But he scores the goal. He does what every good striker should do and hold his run. And then when he's got to put it in the back of the net, whether it's on 1 yard or 20 yards, whatever it may be, he scores the goal. 1-0 to Chelsea. We go in at half-time. We're winning 1-0. We're looking good. The game is very much in Chelsea's favour. And then the polar opposite of what happened last week happened. Instead of coming out at the beginning of the second half with our tail between our legs and thinking, right, we went, and in fact, no, I can't remember how the tail between the leg phrase goes, but all of a sudden we just came into our shell. And I don't understand why we did this, because Crystal Palace were happy to just sit back and do nothing. And then we invited pressure onto ourselves at the beginning of that second half. And next thing you know, we give literally an inch of space to one of the best players outside the box in the Premier League for bending the ball in the back of the net. Eberechi Eze makes it 1-1, Crystal Palace are level. And from that point on, I'm thinking, right, okay, surely we're at Stamford Bridge here. We got the crowd behind us. It's 27 degrees at Stamford Bridge. We're going to create more chances. We've had a really good game. We've had lots of big opportunities. We've had Jackson opportunities. He scored. Palmer opportunities. Noni's had good opportunities. And then all of a sudden, for the rest of that second half, I'm like, surely we're not going to go into this international break with a 1-1 draw at Stamford Bridge off the back of a 6-2 win at Wolves. But lo and behold, it was just so slow and pedestrian from Chelsea once again in that second half. There was no urgency. I want to say well done to Mudryk, who came on and actually looked bright and did something and tried to make stuff happen. Pedro Neto, I think today didn't look fit enough. I think Joao Felix, I said it in the live stream, I was saying how when you remember the X Factor, the singing competition on TV, right? You get that geezer or that woman who's just that absolute, by far, the best singer. And then it comes to the final where she's got an opportunity to win £1 million music contract and she's got a sore throat on the day of the final. That's what it was from Felix. Unbelievable when he's on the ball till he's asked to shoot. And then after that, I was like, well, Crystal Palace here have got themselves a late corner. and they could win the game. It was such a flat second half from Chelsea, and I feel as though going into the international break here, we had an opportunity. The result against Servette was underwhelming. Even though Jadon Sancho came through, losing out on Osimhen is underwhelming. This draw today is very underwhelming. And I'm not saying at any point here Maresca out and all this stuff. I saw a lot of people getting very upset in the chat of the live stream. But with all of that firepower that Chelsea have, off the back of scoring 6 last week, we are once again incredibly inconsistent. And I'll say this before we get into the boxes. I am sick to death of the standards of refereeing in this country. It is an absolute disaster today how Jared Gillett is just throwing out yellow cards willy-nilly on first offences for every single Chelsea player at any given opportunity. Kamada, the Palace midfielder, countless fouls, no booking. And then Will Hughes is having an absolute shocker, a stinker for Palace. Cole Palmer is in. And when Palmer gets into that position about 25 yards from goal, he might even shoot and score. Will Hughes is all over him. It's almost borderline harassment, abuse. Call up the Met Police. They'll probably arrest him the way the UK police move these days. You get arrested for nothing, for anything. But no second yellow card. Absolutely warranted it. And it would have been a red. Game changes completely, but no. Referee today was absolutely shocking. Stinker from Jared flipping Gillett or Gillette or whatever it is. The best a man can get. Absolutely not when it comes to referees. But we begin with a green box here for Levi Colwill, who I think when you see Levi Colwill play as a centre-back in that left side, you see the best of Levi. When we were looking through the heat maps on the live stream at half-time, Levi Colwill was everywhere, stepping up into that midfield area. And that is how much dominance Chelsea had in the first half. I think Colwill's passing was great again. He was quick. He was on the front foot. Sometimes he kind of gets a little bit carried away, a bit too much. But I thought it was a really good performance today from Levi. Box number 2 is a yellow for Enzo Fernandez. I did a poll at half-time asking people if they thought, and it's a basic question that still has a bit of jeopardy in it because, like, when you say to someone, has X or Y had a good game? Some people will go ahead and they'll open up the stats and be like, well, he's misplaced only one pass and he's done this and he's done this. To the naked eye, you watch Enzo Fernandez and you can see the moments where, like, there was a 2-second, the whole thing was 2 seconds. The ball in for Noni Madueke, it's a brilliant save from Henderson. If it goes in, which it could have done on any other day, we're talking about a world-class assist, a brilliant clip ball over the top. All of that happened in 2 seconds. He gets the ball, controls it, looks up, clips the ball over, and Noni misses. The amount of times, though, today that Enzo gave the ball away, and at the end of the game, I'm like, why is Enzo Fernandez playing in centre-back? I know that Malo Gusto has gone off, but, like, for me, just let Caicedo go and sit in that centre-back position. Take Enzo Fernandez off, bring in Kunku on, leave Noni Madueke on the pitch. That's what I would have done. I don't agree with it. It's a yellow for Enzo Fernandez because I think he just needs to be better. Like, straight up. If I get stick because I give Mudryk a lot of stick, right? Another massive money signing. And this is always going to be relevant with Enzo Fernandez. Spent £1 million on the bloke. You've got to perform better if you're that expensive of a footballer. And we're selling Conor Gallagher. That's like, if we're going to do this, then a £100 million man, there's more that comes down on him when he's playing average in a game of football. Yellow box for him. Box number 3. I've given a green here to Caicedo. I thought he was absolutely everywhere. I think there's still a bit of that, like, early season Caicedo that we saw last year where he's not quite up to speed with everything. But I think today, Caicedo was fantastic. I think when you look at the weak link in the middle, it was Enzo Fernandez. He was getting forward. He was playing long clip balls over the top. I thought Moises Caicedo did really well. You can probably tell my voice, after such a mega week of streaming, is slowly dying. I'm going to say it now. It's a yellow box today for Nicolas Jackson. He scores a goal, and at the end, he has 2 big opportunities. The first one, we'll talk about that one first. I think he has all of the right as a striker to shoot there. It hits the side netting. People are like, just give it to Felix. But Felix is on the same line as him, and it's an even tighter angle. So I think Jackson should have shot. The second one, he's literally one-on-one with the goalkeeper, leaves it too late, then hits it straight at Henderson. And I'm sorry, but I sat in this very chair on the deadline date stream, and I said, I'm upset that we didn't sign Osimhen. Not because I don't like Jackson. Not because I think Nicolas Jackson is a bad player, But because Chelsea get a lot of these opportunities where if we've got a finisher, we finish it, we win the game 3 points instead of 1. And that was that chance. That was the one. I'm sorry. We all watch the same game. That's how I see it. Nicolas Jackson there at the end has to score. That is what elite strikers do. And the difference between a win and a draw. And the difference between a great mood in the international break and a bang average one. And he missed. Yellow for Nicolas Jackson. Let me know your thoughts on that in the comments down below. And I've given a green here to Cole Palmer. I thought he was, once again, the most dangerous player on the field today for Chelsea. Almost scored a great goal in the first half. I was disappointed, but I understand why. He had to drop deeper to receive the ball, and he wasn't in those pockets in that number 10 position towards the end of the game that we want him to be in. The thing is, right, and this is the problem with Chelsea having so many attackers. When the game is going away from us, we're going to bring them on. And if we don't bring them on, then Maresca will get slated for it because you've got so many attackers on the bench and we're drawing with Palace. You've got to bring the forwards on. But the fact of the matter is, when we have Felix, Mudryk, Jackson, Nkunku all on the pitch at the same time and Cole Palmer, Palmer has to be the deepest of them all. You can't stick all 5 of those guys up front. So Palmer had to drop deeper. And in the end, it's the fact that the finishing of all of the above aforementioned players isn't good enough and we don't win the game. Box number 6, to wrap up this 6 Things We Learned video here, the third league game of the season. Wesley Fofana today put in his best game so far. And as much as Chelsea did concede a goal, it's a world-class finish from Eberechi Eze. He gave him too much space, but Fofana was the one salmon diving across to try and block it. And I think he was good. I think he looked more comfortable on the ball. I think there wasn't really many shaky moments at the back today for Chelsea. We controlled the game massively, very well. And it's about finishing again. It really is. We should have won this game today, 4-5-1. I bet on 4-1 and 5-0. And it should have been around that. But we don't get the job done. And I'm sorry, I know a lot of you here will be very disappointed with this result. I'm very disappointed with this result. Let me know your thoughts on it in the comments down below. The 6 things that you learned. If you are going to be buying a shirt, a Chelsea shirt for this season, please do use the discount code GBFC10 and look at the QR code that's either right there or right there. Thanks for all the love this week. It's been mega. We've had so many streams, so many videos, and you guys have been absolutely lapping it up. So thank you. Wish it was a better result to end the weekend, but come on, you Blues.